Parlays and player props. Your guys' favorite video is back for week 5 of the NFL season. Today I got 4 player props, well, plus an Underdog Fantasy entry that I love, trying to turn 25 bucks into 250. This week we kept it simple. 4 picks, 4 winners. Let's dive into it. If we do go 4-0 in this video, I'll give away 250 bucks. How to enter? All you got to do is 2 things. Subscribe, which hopefully you already are. Subscribe. Number 2, like the video. It's that simple. If you want some extra credit, let me know your favorite prop for Sunday. Maybe I'll tail some of you guys. You guys are always dropping some winners in the comments. Go down below, drop your favorite comment. But hopefully we can go 4-0 and give away some money. Before we do dive in, I want to talk about Underdog Fantasy because they're basically giving you guys some money, because if you use our code COS or the link in the description, you get a 100% deposit match up to 100 bucks. You deposit 25, now you get 50. Deposit 50, now you get 100. Deposit 100, now you get 200. It's free money, people. And speaking of free, they give you a free square too, exclusive to our code. So if you use COS, you will also get a free code for a free square for a QB on Sunday to just get 1 passing yard. They'll get it done. There's a bunch of different ones depending on when you sign up. Take advantage of it. All details down below. But you guys came for some NFL picks, and we have plenty more other of them. We have an NFL spread picks video where we gave out our favorite spread picks plus another player prop. That video is posted right before this one on Friday. Go show that one some love. And then later on Saturday evening, we'll post our favorite parlay, $10 to win $1,000. You'll see a couple of the guys I talk about in this video in those parlays, but we've gotten so close to turning 10 into 1,000. I think this is the week we get it done. That video is live at 5 p.m. Eastern. Go show it some love. But let's dive into our player props of the week. Going to the guy on the thumbnail, an absolutely awesome rookie running back who's probably going to have a great career in the NFL. It's Bijan Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons. I like his over 79.5 rushing yards. It was plus 110 on DraftKings. I'd play this up to 82.5. The plus 110 is not going to stick around, I would imagine, by the time you guys are watching this, by the time, kickoff's rolling around. So we're getting great value here, but I think Bijan's going to blow this line out of the water. And if you watch our long shot video, I'll let you know one of my squares. It is going to be Bijan 100 plus rushing yards, because I think he is in for a big, big day. But before we dive into Bijan, if you don't know about him, he is the rookie running back for the Atlanta Falcons. The guy's a stud. And if you look at the other props for him, you see Bijan's rushing attempts sitting at 16.5, something he's really only touched once this season. You look at Desmond Ridder, plus 130 to throw an interception. That's pretty good value, considering I don't think he's that great. And the Falcons are favored at home, but despite looking like terrible the last 2 weeks, I think there's a chance the Falcons win this game, and they ain't winning it unless we're seeing Bijan having a big day. So we'll roll with him. But the Texans are still a great team. I just think too many people will be on the Texans. I think it's a great spot to back the Falcons, and I'm not backing them. I'm just backing Bijan, who's a beast. This season, we looked at Bijan Robinson. He's been a stud, averaging 6 yards per carry. He's at 56, 124, 33, and 105 rushing yards. He's played 63, 72, 81, and 76% of the snaps. He's taken over this backfield by storm. In week 1, you might have been like, oh, Tyler Algier is going to be a thorn in your side. He's kind of thrown Tyler Algier to the side. They've seen the talent. They're like, all right, how do we keep Bijan off the field? I mean, this guy's super, super electric with the ball in his hands. They find as many ways as they can. And while I don't mind his rushing plus receiving yards, you can take that. But I think the rushing yards is where I'd rather be, because we've seen this guy just be able to make guys miss. And I'd rather just count on the rushing. Now, it is worth noting, Falcons defense, I think, will have a pretty decent day against C.J. Stroud. You look at the Texans are going to struggle to run the ball. They've struggled to run the ball basically all year long. So they're going to struggle to run the ball, force C.J. Stroud to throw the ball. And if he throws it once, they'll throw it. Maybe that's some shorter drives. Maybe they get some long touchdowns. I don't care. But they stop the clock with some incompletions, and we should have the ball with more time for us. And we've seen running backs have success versus Houston. Past 3 weeks, just look at it. Zach Moss, 88 yards. Travis Etienne, 88 yards. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren combined for 100, and they lost that game by 24 points. And the Pittsburgh Steelers do not know how to block on offense. That rushing attack is terrible. So all these 3 guys have hit it. Bijan is an absolute stud. He's going to dominate on Sunday. I'm rolling with him. The Falcons have a great offensive line. Don't have a great quarterback play. I don't think it matters on Sunday. We're rolling with him. Worth noting, I will be in attendance. So if Bijan's off to a slow start, I will be chirping him. He's going to have a big day for us. I'm going to watch this cash in person. Bijan, I'll be there cheering you on. Let's continue it to another player prop. If you've been watching the videos the past couple weeks, you probably knew this guy was going to come right around again. Adam Thielen of the Carolina Panthers, over 4.5 receptions, minus 125 on Bet365. Now, flashback to week 3. We took Thielen at 3.5 receptions. It was plus 120 then. Boy, would I kill for plus 120 on this prop. Unfortunately, the books are starting to catch up. In week 4, it was only minus 115, and we took that plus his 6+ receptions, which was plus 220. This week, the 6+ is like plus 165. I don't see a ton of value there, but I still do think value on this one unit for over 4.5 receptions still worth playing, because I think this line should be 5.5. Eventually, it will get there. But let's talk about Adam Thielen, who's been great this year. He's played 88, 87, 92, and 90% of snaps. He's out there a ton for the Panthers. He's at 2, 7, 11, and 7 receptions. done pretty well. The 11 was with Andy Dalton, but the 7 and the last 2 sevens have both been with Bryce Young, and the guy's getting targeted a lot. 2, 9, 14, and 8 targets. So, look, I'm telling you, Bryce Young hasn't looked great this year, and against the Lions in a matchup they're likely trailing in, probably not going to look that much better, but the Lions do have a good pass rush. They're going to get in his face. I think he's just going to be looking for a security blanket. I think the two guys with big days, Adam Thielen and Hayden Hurst, I think those are two matchups you could probably take. But I think at the end of the day, Thielen's that trusted target for Bryce Young. Obviously, this is a Panthers wide receiver corps. Pretty young outside of Thielen, so they kind of are just kind of grasping at straws, trying to find some guys. You see them in the reports trying to get a number one receiver. You don't need one. You got Adam Thielen. We love him. Don't try to replace him. Adam Thielen's been so good for us. Game script should play our way. We've seen the Lions give up some receptions to opposing wide receivers. They've allowed 3 wide receivers to have 6 or more receptions against them. So if you want to go up to 6+ for Thielen, I don't hate it. 4 of those guys had 5, or they've got another guy that had 5+, and they really haven't faced a lot of great options. They faced the Chiefs, who were without Travis Kelce. That was just a weird game. They threw it all around. You had the Seahawks. That was the team that really had a lot of wide receivers go off. You had a Falcons team that doesn't really throw to their wide receivers at all, or even to their tight ends. Shout out Kyle Pitts owners. And then Packers, the team that, they had, I think, Romeo Doubs hit this over, but another team that is still kind of rotating wide receivers here and there. Look, I'm confident Thielen continues to print for us. He's been our cash cow so far this season. We're going to keep rolling with Adam Thielen. Take his over 4.5 receptions. Don't care how many yards he gets, but he probably hits his over in yards as well. I just rather receptions in case they're throwing like 3-yard dump offs to Thielen. We'll take those, 5 of them. Give them to us. Now let's move on to a guy that actually got drafted to replace Adam Thielen and his former team. It is Jordan Addison of the Minnesota Vikings. I like his over 43.5 receiving yards, which is -115 on DraftKings. Now, Addison obviously is a rookie, so you're always betting on a rookie. You're betting on Tua today with Bijan, but I really like this guy to have a big day. He's going to be in my long shot parlay as well, and I think this guy's going to go off in a massive bounce back spot against the Chiefs. You look at Addison so far this season. He's been pretty good prior to last week. 61, 72, and 52 yards. And then last week, a big 0. This is a guy that saw 6, 5, 8, and 1 targets. And then last week, just nothing got going. And you kind of could have saw that writing on the wall with Kirk Cousins props, because Kirk Cousins just didn't have high pass attempts line, and he didn't even get close to his pass attempts line. I think they went 12 for 19 passing the ball. Just wasn't a lot of passing yardage. This weekend, they're going to have to pass the ball against Patrick Mahomes. Is going to be able to score against that Vikings defense, which has not been that great. And then you're going to see Kirk Cousins, who has a passing yards line at nearly 300 yards. So a lot of yards to go around, and they can't all go to Justin Jefferson. I imagine Steve Spagnuolo, who is a veteran, defensive coordinator, he's going to have his hands full defending Justin Jefferson. And I think they're going to try their best to try to limit him. I think we're going to see Jordan Addison get one-on-one coverage plenty of times, nearly on every route. This is a guy that has that big play potential. He could hit this over in one play, but I just think this is a guy that's too talented to have back-to-back bad weeks. They'll find ways to get the ball in his hands. You look at Addison playing a lot of snaps, 56, 69, 71, and 58% of snaps. He's run 29, 34, 42, and then only 14 routes last week. I like him to bounce back a larger target share this week. Like I said, Justin Jefferson can get his. He's already had 150 in the games where you saw Addison hitting this over. I think there's more to go around in this game. I think he gets those opportunities. We've seen wide receivers have success versus Kansas City, especially those number 2 guys. You saw week 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 71, Josh Reynolds at 80, same game. Christian Kirk next week at 110. DJ Moore, the leader for the Bears. That was a terrible game for the Bears all around. He only had 41, but then last week, Garrett Wilson, 60, Allen Lazard, 61. So, look, the young rookie wide receiver should look to get the ball a little bit more. I think they'll find a way to find the ball into his hands. This is a talented playmaker. He can make guys miss, can go deep, get those long touchdowns, stretch the field. I think he'll have his opportunities. Jordan Addison, we're rolling with you, rookie. Go get it done. Over 43.5 receiving yards. I'd play it up to about 45.5. Jordan Addison, we're counting on you. My 4th and final player prop of the week, before we talk about Underdog Fantasy a little bit, going to be an under. You can say it unders. Let's hope this one hits. Tua Tagovailoa, taking his under 34.5 pass attempts, -114 on FanDuel. I'd play this down to 33.5. Personally, this is not a fade of Tua Tagovailoa saying, hey, I think he has a bad game. In fact, I honestly hope he has a great game. I hope he absolutely just is like 100. He's like 30 for 30, 100% completion rate, and they just smoke the Giants so much that Tua doesn't come in the 4th quarter. That'd be great. If they want to score 70 points again, sign me up. But the Dolphins find themselves as 12.5-point favorites at home, coming off a bad loss to the Bills. Obviously, everyone's going to be on the Dolphins. While I'm not saying, hey, take their spread, pretty confident they win this game, and I don't think this is necessarily going to be too close. It's hard to really want to jump in front of the buzzsaw that is the Dolphins coming off a loss and the Giants' offensive line, which is literally just a buzzsaw. They're just letting guys go right through them. But we look at so far this season, you've seen Tua do pretty well hitting this under. You've seen him go 45, 30, 26, and 35 pass attempts. This last season, he was under this line in 9 of 13 games. So he is under in only 2 of 4. One of the games was on the hook. One of the games he threw 45 times. That was the game against the Chargers, was that back and forth game. And last week threw 35 when they were trailing by 3-4 touchdowns against the Buffalo Bills. But those games were shootouts. I don't see this game being a shootout. I just don't. The Giants offense has just really struggled. And while Tua could still throw for 300 yards, he's been really efficient this year, and I expect him to be efficient against the Giants defense that struggles, has a bunch of rookies out there that maybe they get some pass interferences, which means the pass attempts don't count, or maybe we just see some long completions for a guy named Tua who leads the league in air yards per attempt. And we've seen the Giants also have a favorable matchup on the ground. The Giants allowing the 4th most rushing yards per game. So you look at guys like Achane, you see Mostert on the ground, they should be able to do their thing. You look at quarterbacks versus the New York Giants this season. Here's how they've done. Drew Lock and Geno Smith combined 26 attempts. We saw Geno exit that game due to injury. Brock Purdy had 37, Joshua Dobbs 31, and then Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush 25 attempts as a team. So we've seen teams just be able to kind of control the clock against the Giants. And honestly, I think the Giants could potentially do better this game. The one time that someone went over this line against the Giants was Brock Purdy. They possessed the ball for 40 minutes of the 60 minutes eligible. I mean, they smoked them, but the Giants had nothing going on offense, had about 140 yards of offense. I think the Giants offense actually is better on Sunday, which is probably good for us. We need them to have those long drives, take the ball out of Tua Tagovailoa's hands, and I think that's great for us. I think this is a great spot to back him. I think the line closes at 33.5, so you can get that 34.5. I think is key, but I do think that 33.5 cashes as well. I think he ends with around 30 to 32. Tua, sorry, man, we're not necessarily fading you. We hope you have a great game. Just go blow out the Giants for us all. We'll take your under 34.5 pass attempts. But now it is time for Underdog Fantasy. We love them. You love them. We all love them. Let's talk about them. I'm rolling with this entry, $25 to win 250. Boom. That's what we're trying to do, 10x our money. If you are new to Underdog, like I said, available in a ton of U.S. states. Best part, sign up with their code COS or the link in the description. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100, a free $100 if you deposit $100, and you also get a free square to use on any of the games. You'll see it. It will pop up on your account if you use our code. It's only if you use our code. It's not just if you sign up. Got to use our code COS or the link in the description. Just look at this parlay. Entry. There's nothing different you really see here. Bijan's higher than 80.5. Addison higher than 43.5. Tua lower than 33.5. One lower. I'm fine with it there. And Thielen over 4.5 receptions. Like I said, 25 to turn into 250. Boom. Simple as that. We just went 4-0. I just gave away $250. Let's try to do it. Appreciate you guys all love and support. Hit that subscribe button. If we go 4-0, I'm giving away $250. Just like and subscribe. It's that simple. Love you guys. Have a great Sunday. Absolutely dominate the books. Let's have a great week 5. We'll go into Monday Night Football absolutely dominating. I'll put up 2 other videos on the screen when they are live. Our spread picks video already live. Go check out that one. Our long shot parlays video will be live later on Saturday evening. Go show some love. We're hitting one of those things, and you do not want to miss it when we do smack one. Promise you that. This is Austin. I'm signing out. See you in the next one. Peace.